Welcome to this episode of Targets. A bit of a weird format today, but I just wanted to say thank you very much indeed, as ever, for all the lovely comments that keep coming in and the support for the channel. I wanted to get that in as a precursor because today's show is actually an archive episode. So just for continuity, you'll see there's no leaves on the trees, and it was back in the day when we were, getting off the ground. So thanks as ever to everybody who's, behind us with this. This episode's actually about mount practice and about developing your mount from, say, pre-mounted to gun down and anything in between. So I hope you enjoy it, stay safe, and we'll look forward to seeing you again very soon on the channel. Simon here at Hownhall Shooting, welcoming you back to another episode of Targets. Now today's a little bit different. Obviously we've been working through different styles of targets and the approaches and how we get set up. But so often than not, it's largely about the individual themselves and trying to slow things down and actually trying to refine how we use, mount and, operate a shotgun. So for today, I thought we might look at a simple pair of what you might call, well, they're sort of teal decoy targets. So they're both coming up, but they're coming forward. We can shoot them individually, we can shoot them as a pair. But I thought we might use them as a format to show how we can practice learning how to mount. Say if we're stuck on pre-mounted and we want to start introducing gun down or half gun down. And then, as silly as it sounds, sending up a pair and getting in our mind that we've got more time than we think we have, rather than rushing. Once we've got these sort of skills and this mindset, we can then take this and roll this out onto a melee of targets. Let's have a quick look at what we're doing. Let's take the individual targets as a starter. Either one, brilliant practice for learning how to shoot gun down. Okay, let me run through that. So, gun safe. If you're someone that currently shoots pre-mounted, so in effect you're putting the gun into the cheek and then calling pull to shoot the target. Perfect format here to mount the gun into the cheek and just bring it down onto the chest plate. So like a half gun down, that's my terminology. Either one of those targets then sent up, one can slowly put the gun into the cheek, staring at the target, putting the muzzle on the target and pulling the trigger, okay? Either target. From there, then if you want to, you could use the pair and do the half gun down and shoot the pair. Progress on from that, then one can bring the gun from what was pre-mounted, half gun down, to full gun down, stock by the side of the chest, beginning of the rib cage. And again, nice and slowly, looking at the individual target, mounting up, on and shooting. Individual shots, low then high, and then indeed blending those two together. Now when you get them in as a pair, that's when the head starts to speed up and we start to rush. So it might work that one would pre-mounted master the idea of shooting a pair, so you're focusing on the first target, hopefully kill it, then go on to the second target, get that sort of sensation fixed in your head, and then add on the half gun and the full gun down. Okay, so what you're doing is you're slowly building in levels. So often people will attack this really quickly, looking at the first bird and then looking at the second bird while shooting the first bird, and it all ends in a bit of a mess. So nice to take your time and be nice and steady. Let me show you a couple of examples of how we do just that. Pull. Pull. Okay, so I'm just going to recap on what we've done, and forgive me if I repeat anything at all, but this really is nice, subtle training to really find your groove. Okay, so just from step one, single targets. We had the lower and the higher target. Here's an idea for you, here's a plan, right? You shoot pre-mounted. So first, just shoot the targets individually. Then when you're feeling, confident and you've got it, maybe then have a pair. Concentrate on the first clay, smash, gently onto the second one. You'll soon find after a while that the movement is very, very slow, and you'll actually probably turn around to whoever you're shooting with and say, God, there's actually quite a lot of time, because normally there is. Once you've got that nice and clean, then maybe go back to single targets and just try the little half gun down. That's my terminology, that's not a technical term, but just half gun down. All right, single target. And imagine you're just putting the gun back in your cheek for a pre-mounted shot, but obviously you're going to do it before the clay's thrown. So half gun down, pull, as you see the clay, slowly into the cheek, whilst the muzzle's on the clay, and take the shot. Then incorporate a pair, and then once you feel confident, and if indeed you want to pick up, the full 3 positions, then drop down to the traditional gun down, and off you go again. So it's nice, steady, sort of methodical practice, okay? Now bear in mind the standard sort of requirements must also be in place. Your feet would be lined up on these targets. These are pretty much straight ahead. So, gun at 12, feet 1 and 2, generic stuff. When you are going from pre-mounted down to either half gun or full gun down, be sure it's that smooth but committed mount into under the cheekbone. It's not the cheek, lower jaw, and it's most definitely not shoulder first. There's some stuff to work with. I hope again it does add a bit of value to the shooting, and I'll very much look forward to seeing you again on targets.